magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
Do you have me now? It is amazing. Amazing! Yeah. How about now? I had a huge update on my computer, and I guess it completely knocked everything. How are we all doing? And we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Dale, for joining this professional uh, setup that we have here today. Now I'm going to be using the audio from the camera, so if the audio sounds kind of wonky. We ran 10 minutes late today because we logged into all the streaming software, and then they like to tell us literally 20 minutes before we're supposed to go live, oh, there's a whole bunch of updates and you got to do all these updates. Oh, and then you got to restart your computer. Oh, and now all your setup that you did with your audio and you're separate with your microphone and your camera and everything, you got to update all of that too. And it's like, oh man, I literally just used this computer, this one here that we're talking on right now, just for the live streams. And it's still not good enough. Isn't that great? How we all doing? How we all doing? This is another Transformer Slag podcast, Saturday Night Live main event. Not as professional as we would hope. This is the face that runs this place that tries to figure this all out. We're a one-man operation on this, and we try to do our best. My name's Proto Man, and this is the live stream. We're going to be talking Transformers. We're going to be talking news. We're going to be doing some super chats from the fans if you are interested to be involved. We are going to be doing a giveaway today. Two giveaways, actually. Two different giveaways that we're going to be doing for both Patreon and YouTube members. So if you're one of those, be sure to participate today. One of two different giveaways. We're doing the giveaways today because TFcon is this weekend. Normally, I would be at TFcon, but it was ridiculously busy this week for me. A lot of business related stuff going on behind the scenes that kind of I couldn't be in LA if I had to do these calls, and a lot of related cool business related stuff. You'll probably learn about it in the future. And just personal stuff. Just, tire season's ending and everything like that. So just going back into summer in the coldness that is winter, it's going to be a good week. So needless to say, I would have loved to be at TFcon. I just couldn't. I know a lot of people are going by the Symbiote Studios booth going, where's Proto Man? Why isn't Proto Man here? But Jaws D's holding it down for us over there. So that'll be that. But I'll be at Toronto TFcon. That's the next TFcon coming up will be in Toronto in July. I will be there 100% because it's drivable. Like even if I have a busy day, I could still then drive to TFcon and hang out and then drive back. Like that's how close it is. So, but we will see what happens in the future for, let's say, November's TFcon in Florida. It's so far away to even think about it right now. We're getting out of winter, and now I'd be thinking about it, the Florida TFCon that enters winter. Mind you, it's Florida, but how we all doing? Let's see, who do we got? We got JR Mina, we got Timmy K Poindexter, we got Anthony Chico, we got Link CW, we got Cringe McCringle, we got Cringe McCringle. Aren't you at TFCon LA right now? Why are you wasting your time here, bro? Go have a good time. You can listen to me afterwards. This will be in replays. Go have a good time down at the bar. You're lucky to be there. I wish I was there. I don't want to be here. Mind you, I would probably be here streaming live, but whatever. Prince and Phalanx 59. We got Trevor Stasic, one of our Patreon people. We got who else we got here? We got Tucker is here. So many Lord Soundwarp. We got to give you a birthday shout out, Lord Soundwarp, later, and a Patreon question. We got Bigums. We got Ashnud. We got AI Dragon. If I'm missing somebody, Mr. Bumblebot. So many today. So many today, guys. Well, Tom Laney, I could go on and on. I'm trying to scroll up and catch everybody. Let's get into the news. I'll catch your names again afterwards. Billy B is here too. It's we got a lot of stuff to cover. We got some cool stuff to talk about. Uh, no news announcements. We were going to plan it for this weekend, but for some new stuff to reveal. But I think we'll probably save it for next weekend. Aaron Archer is here too. Aaron didn't have to see the audio problems. So let's jump into that. We're going to get into the news. First, we're going to talk about some really delicious stuff. Let's talk about a whole bunch of listings from the Retro series. These are updates that we had from when we talked about it early this week. So the Transformers Retro reissue line, Transformers the movie Retro reissue line, which is this new flavor that Hasbro's doing. Hey, we gave you those reissues. Hey, we gave you those reissues again in classic packaging. Now we're going to give you those reissues again with cartoon accurate colors. And we already got that through Hot Rod. We already got that through Starscream. We already saw the leaks of Hound and the Thundercracker that we have here on the top of the screen. But now we have a potential Retro 5 Perceptor, Retro 7, makes me wonder what 6 is, Shrapnel, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I go into the deep nitty gritty of it. What's going on? What could potentially be happening? I put a lot of different photo references and what potentially they could do. So if you want, go check out that individual segment I shot early this week where I talk really like deep into like, man, a shrapnel. The last time we got a G1 Insecticon 1985 mold singular was the original 1985 because every time they did Insecticons as a reissue, they always did them as a 3-pack, whether it be Japan, here. Twice they reissued them as 3-packs here in America. Twice they reissued them as reissues as 3-packs in Japan. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do for sure. And then you have that fan exclusive to Optimus. I mean, the speculation on that is that's going to be like the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive, Optimus Prime done in Hero G2 colors with the sculpt and the shoulder cannon and who knows what. I mean, it's all speculation right now. Nothing's confirmed. Don't take my word for it, but I mean, that's kind of the general consensus. And then we had those listings for the Transformers Shine stuff, which is supposed to be the Transformer Reactivate action figures, and all of that crazy stuff that's going on, and how that's going to be a 2-pack, and it's going to have a Voyager Optimus and a Soundwave, and we have no idea what they look like. What are they going to be? We have the listings which say it's going to be from the game. It's going to be a 2-pack. The Optimus is larger. The Soundwave is smaller. It comes with a bunch of weapons, which probably will represent some of the stuff that you could use in the game, although they do sound like also the weapons that traditionally an Optimus and a Soundwave would come with. But it's a lot of interesting stuff. This is all late 2023, early 2024 listings. So we'll just have to wait it out. And when we get those images, we'll report it here and we'll make sense of it all and all that cray. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that for sure. Now let's talk about other video game stuff. Let's talk about this brand new Studio Series line that was revealed to us. So we have Studio Series, we have Studio Series 86, and now we have Studio Series Gamer Edition. I don't know about the name Gamer Edition, but I guess they had to come up with something that was catchy. But we have our Gamer Edition now, and the Gamer Edition is pretty much as they're going to start with the High Moon Studios Activision War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron designs. And we knew about these for quite a few weeks because we saw the listings and they said WFC, War for Cybertron. And, due to the confusion of how Transformer branding is, we have now 2 different kinds of War for Cybertron. We have the War for Cybertron trilogy of classics kind of stuff. And then we have the old 2010 War for Cybertron action figures based off of the High Moon games back in the day during the Archer era. So we have these ones here. This is probably the weakest one of the bunch is the Bumblebee, designed by Sam Smith, this one. You can see on the bottom right that, Sam tried his best to make to make what he could with the limitations of the modern deluxe class budget. to make, a representation of that old CG model. I'll be honest with you, and I said it in the individual segment, I really think the original B from 2010 was way better. Here's a side by side here. I don't know. Like, no offense to Sam, he's done a lot of really good work, but this one kind of hits and misses. I want to just believe it's because of the limitations that he probably had to work with. Because to be fair, that old 2010 deluxe class Bumblebee on the right there, that was a 2010 deluxe. A lot bigger, a lot more plastic. I mean, Here, this is a Studio Series hot rod. Like, look how much smaller that is. You know, look how much less plastic that is. Look how beefy this guy is. So, like, it's clearly from another era. And look, the translucent plastic of the. It's a completely different era, and I found that this one hit it a lot better. And it's something where if you are interested in this one, you could kind of find it relatively cheap on eBay. This one here on the left, which is our actual gamer edition one, is going to be going for $24.99 standard deluxe class MSRP. Will be shipping out July 1st, 2023. And yeah, the weapons are cool that come with it. He comes with the Cybertronian sword. He didn't have that with the original toy. He just kind of had those flip out swords. He comes with 2 different guns. Again, just look at the weapons on the bottom left there from Sam Smith's renders. It's cool that it comes with the weapons. It's cool that the weapons could be popped into the wrist and be more game accurate in that kind of sense. But I just find that this one overall just doesn't look as nice. But unfortunately, it's probably going to scale a lot better because that original one, it just doesn't do the job. But it is what it is. We got a new subscriber. Thank you, Dark B, for joining us. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Do you think the original 2010 is better? Do you think this new one does it better? I've seen a lot of people saying beer belly with the new one, which is kind of funny. But we'll see. We'll see. Alt mode, maybe the alt mode's better on the new one, but we will see. Now let's talk about Barricade. Barricade looks amazing. Again, Sam Smith. This one, Sam knocked it out of the park. Look at the animation model on the bottom right next to the actual one. He was able to make the best he could with the kibble that was available and everything like that. Looks really, really good. Again, the only negative that I could really bring up is modern deluxe class limitations. The budget is just not the same anymore like it was, dare I say, 12, 13 years ago when the first War for Cybertron toys came out. And because the paint budget is not as good, you can't really, reenact that purple. We need more paint deco on it. But the gun is accurate, the poses look nice, the alt mode is nice, but I think it just needs a little more paint and maybe something like Studio Series premium finish. They've done a lot of premium finish Studio Series stuff in Japan. Maybe if they did a premium finish of this would look a lot better. Who knows? We're going to be talking about a very premium finish kind of update very soon later in this live stream today. But it'd be really nice to see this one because Barricade has a really cool design. Sam Smith did a really good job translating that to plastic. But at the same time, it's like, man, oh man, like it'd be really cool to like see just a little more paint would have been cool. And last but not least, we got the big man, the big beefy guy. I don't know, did anyone see boxed images of this yet? I couldn't find any boxed images. So we're just going to go with this. We don't have any Voyager class boxed images yet. I'm sure we'll see some in the future. But we got here our Optimus. This one is designed by Evan Brooks. This was an Evan Brooks design. And just based on that War for Cybertron, big beefy dude. And he looks really good. Again, if it had a little more extra paint, I'd kind of black the windows, kind of give it more that cartoon, video game accuracy. But otherwise, I love how well it looks. The transition from the animation model to the final product is great. And Evan even showed us like all the deep cuts. So like apparently I mentioned in the individual segment how it looked like the axe had 2 different configurations. The reason for that is Evan wants it that, do you want to have the axe to look like how it did in the cutscenes or how it looks when you swing it in the game? So that's why it has 2 different configurations. You could literally do 2 different versions of the axe to match how you want to represent it. It also shows, how you could attach any of the guns that come with any of the other characters into the 5mm pegs, so you could share all the weapons because honestly in the game you do share all the weapons all around. And then he showed also some comparisons to the old 2010 one. That one was designed by Joe Kide back in the day. Good old Joe Kai that's working at Lego right now, who gave us our Lego Optimus Prime. He was the one who designed the old 2010 War for Cybertron one, and there it is compared to it. One thing that Joe Kai did give us that this one did not, which was kind of a shame, was the Autobot logo on the back. Granted, Joe had to hide it behind some kibble, but according to Evan, they were not able to pull off putting the Autobot logo on the back of the character because that made the pretty much the front of the vehicle, and there was no way to really sculpt it in there that would have not made it look silly. Now, normally us as fans, we usually don't care about how the back of a Transformer looks, but in a video game where you looked at the back of Optimus Prime literally 90% of the game on the Autobot campaign, and there was that Autobot logo glowing back at you from his back, Joe Kide made sure to put that in the back. Granted, again, it was covered up once you fully transformed it, but I don't know, maybe repro labels will figure something out. Maybe we'll get some nice repro labels. Aaron Black, are you listening? Let's make this happen. Make it like, like that glow in the dark kind of color. Like maybe we could do some glow in the dark Autobot logo so that you ever seen those? It almost looks like an invisible ink. Like when you put it on something, you don't really see it to the naked eye, but when you glow in the dark, it like comes through. Maybe you could put it that way. That way it doesn't disrupt the alt mode. And then when it's in robot mode, you could kind of like in low light. I don't know. That's one way. I'm just spitballing here, but it would be really cool because I mean, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. Anyone that was able to live that time, anyone that was able to play that game, what a fantastic experience that was. I mean, I'll never forget that game debuted the weekend of BotCon 2010. Like I literally picked up my pre-order and it came with a Shockwave pre-order, like, download skin or something, and then I had to literally put it on top of my PlayStation and then get on my plane to go to BotCon Disney in 2010. But man, when I got back, I played the hell out of it. And then Fall of Cybertron came out, which was even better than War for Cybertron, in my opinion. What a game. What a game. Even Aaron Archer, amen. The man behind it, amen. That was that was such an experience. And in my opinion, as someone, I like, you could go on YouTube. I did a panel called Transformers, I think it's called TF Video Game History. It was a panel I did. Vangelis recorded it and posted it on his channel. And I did like the history of Transformers up to that point before this game came out. And you could see it was a rough road. Like outside of maybe the Beast Wars fighting game on Game Boy, and maybe the Armada game, there was just a handful of Transformer games that were at best mediocre. And this was a game that was a AAA title. It got people's attention. It got toys. It was such a big push. And to get this now revisited again is a tribute to just how important these toys were for the brand, for everything that was going on. It created this whole universe. I mean, I just can't wait to see if they do more of these. I would love to see the RC that was in this. She was a multiplayer character that you could pretty much use. She wasn't really used in the story mode in the first game. I'd love to see Jetfire. I mean, dare I say Omega Supreme and Triptychon? I know that'd be asking a lot, but that'd be pretty crazy. What if they did like, core class versions or mini versions? I mean, I would love to see more of this. I literally have a display in my collection that's just the War for Cybertron stuff all together with the big Metroplex because of how great that game was. I tracked down everything because it was such a great experience. And for people that weren't able to experience it live back then, there is ways to kind of play it today, but I mean, to play it back then when it was like this fresh, brand new AAA title, just incredible stuff. Just incredible. So yeah, I can't praise it enough. Again, the new one is a Evan Brooks design here, based off of the old Joe Kide design. Beautiful stuff. Nice piece of Hasbro history now being in the modern age. It's kind of crazy. All the old stuff now is now getting all these big resurgences, like the old like 2000s and 2010 kind of stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Let's jump into the next piece of news, and it's that of other stuff. Beast Wars. So this is another big one. So we talked about this last week, but we were in one of these kind of situations where we had just the blurry images from the product previews from the Japanese retailer previews, pre-order previews, actually. We got a super chat here. Let me just jump into that. Alden Tolbert with the super chat. How you doing, Alden? Welcome to the Transformers Slag podcast live stream during the TFcon celebration. Olden says, hope Hasbro makes a new Transformer series focusing only on Optimus and Grimlock and also a new human villain like Mandoroid. Bumblebee needs a break anyways. Well, the Hasbro Studios stuff, which are the ones that really make those decisions in a lot of ways. Rhode Island is the one who makes the toys, but the West Coast Hasbro Studios in Cali, there's the one that kind of steer the ship when it comes to that kind of fiction, when it comes to television. And I don't know, telling them to break away from the Legendary Seven, for anyone who knows what the Legendary Seven is, telling them to break away from that is like asking them to like smash a hammer into their hands, in all honesty. It's really tough. It's really tough. It's for them to not put a Starscream, an Optimus, a Megatron, a Bumblebee, a Grimlock. Who am I forgetting? Optimus. It's Optimus, Bumblebee, Grimlock, Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, Devastator, Legendary Seven. To get them to not put any of those is tomfoolery in their mind. Even though some of the biggest changes in Transformers that saved the brand didn't have some of those characters. Armada refreshing the brand and selling well. Was there a Bumblebee? You know, was there a Grimlock initially? No. Was there a Shockwave? Was there, like the freshness? Beast Wars, Save the Brand. Those were all new IPs and trademarks. The closest thing you had to an old IP was a Dino Bot, an Optimus Primal and a Megatron. Rampage was a trademark, but it was, who remembers that old Predacon combiner when it's the evil crab transmetal? So freshness always does well, but unfortunately, I understand Hasbro Studios' perspective because it's all about protecting IPs and continuing those IPs, but you could only use those same cast of characters so many times until people turn away. And I'm honestly, legitimately curious of the success of Earthspark. And because it's a streaming service kind of creation, ratings don't really matter. That's the sad truth. It's one of these things where it's like you can't brag about ratings because it doesn't really matter. You can't brag about what people think of it because that doesn't really matter. Earthspark's success will be based on toy sales. And if toy sales don't do well, then maybe it's time to revisit the brand and do something a little different this time around. I mean, if people are getting excited about, Beast Wars and Rise of the Beast, that might say a lot about how you need to rethink things. But who am I really to say so? Back to the beasts. So thank you for the question, Alden Tolbert, with the $5 super chat. So we got here. This is the brand new. We don't know. It's not confirmed because I'm getting a lot of conflicting information, and the even the when it comes to the listing on Takara Tomy Mall's website, it doesn't say Generation Selects and it doesn't say Premium Finish, but like some of the retailers, like English retailers, third-party retailers, is listed at Premium Finish. I get a feeling this is probably going to show up on Hasbro Pulse at some point, and they'll just call it a Generation Select just because of the box design in a lot of ways. But it's something where this here we have whatever we're going to call it in terms of a line, it's definitely a premium beast. And this is the BWVS01 Eternal Beast Showdown, Optimus Primal and Megatron, extensive, crazy paint decos of our Voyager class kingdom and Leader class kingdom. And man, do they look good. They look absolutely fantastic. And when I did this segment this week, I crunched the numbers, but I crunched the numbers based on yen, and I came to a currency exchange of about 110 to 114 to 115. And I was like, man, that's a pretty good price even at that. And then some of the third-party retailers have it listed pre-ordered at 104, which is like, wow, that's even cheaper. And then I'll shout them out just because a lot of times I buy through them, even though I'm not sponsored with them. Robot Kingdom has this set for $89.90. I want to remind you, if you bought these two guys off of the shelves back like today, like they're crappy paint schemes, which I'm going to bring them up right now because I got to, you know, if you would have bought the one on the left, the Kingdom version, that's $33.99. If you would have bought the Leader Class one, that's $55.99. With taxes and everything, that comes to, like, depending on where you are, provincial or the state that you live in, USA, Canada, whatever, this would have easily been $90 for the pair of the originals. You go to Robot Kingdom, and you can pick these both up for $90. Yeah, okay, maybe shipping might be $20 depending on your location, but I mean, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. If you haven't picked up these guys, if you have not picked up these guys, it is absolutely a must because the paint on these is crazy. Look at the Megatron. The one on the left looks almost like if you told me that was like a test shot prototype or something, I'd believe you. You know? That's how different it is. Look at the paint difference on that. It looks like the masterpiece. Like you only see that kind of paint deco on a masterpiece done by Takara, hand painted. And you get the brand new head sculpt. Granted, that head sculpt that's shown in between them, that's the mistake one that ended up on a factory mistake. But you get the brand new head sculpt. You get the whole incredible premium paint scheme. The Primal looks incredible because it's also trying to be show accurate with its paint. So you get the gorilla face that really looks like, a very sentient gorilla of robotic proportions. So it is just insane. Insane. Don't take my math for it. Don't take my math for it. Go do the numbers, crunch it yourself, and then go, why not just pick this thing up? Try to sell your other two. If you already haven't, try to sell your other two and use it as a ticket to try to get this one slightly cheaper. That's the way I kind of look at it. If you could get like $10 for your old one and $20 for your Leader Class Megatron, that's $30 towards getting this one. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a Beast Wars simp. Maybe because like it was always a journey to get the best versions. Like those are the two reissues that they did back in the day that had the premium paint on them. It could be one of many things, but it's something that if you are a Beast Wars fan, this is something you got to go for. It looks really good, really, really good, especially the Megatron. Like it's like night and day. I can't even look at my Kingdom Megatron anymore now that I've seen it. Like I was just like, oh my god, I can't even look at it. It's crazy. And now it's one of these things, and I'll ask you guys, you could super chat it or whatever, because this one, the way they list it, they list it as, here, let me just pull up the old slide here. They list it as in the box on the bottom right there. The box is an homage to the original 1997 Beast Wars 2-pack that was that BWVF 01 Eternal Beast Showdown. So it even has that cool box that's a throwback to the old Japanese box. There's so much going on here. It's incredible. So we don't know 100% what the MSRP is. It's all over the place. Let's settle at $90 to $105, depending on where you buy it. And ships out August 2023. So after you watch Rise of the Beast in a couple of weeks after that, you'll be having this in your collection, and you will be a happy, happy guy. We got a super chat from Airy Nuts. Airy Nut. Prime Predacons and Legacy when? Well, that's if they want to go that route, but do you really look how they've done Prime characters up to this point in Legacy? How would you want Predaking, let's say? How would you want him to look based on what we've seen already of how they did RC and Bulkhead? You know what I mean? Would you be happy with their, meet you in the middle kind of thing? Or would you like something that's a little more slavishly loyal to that old design? I'll be honest with you, and I've said this before, those Prime figures are so good that do we really need to revisit them? I could understand, like, if you're doing animated toys and you're doing it of toys that either have gone crazy up in value or the first time around they didn't get a good shot at getting a toy. But man, oh man, like the Prime toys are so good that unless it's a money issue, unless like, oh, like to get a, first edition Cliff Jumper today, Transformers Prime is like $80, then yeah, I could understand a demand and people going like, yeah, I would love to get a a brand new version of it or something that'll be at the MSRP of $24.99. But I mean, some of them are just so good. Like, do you really? Do you really? Do you really? And that's it more or less for the news. We got a few other things we're going to talk about today, but that's more or less for the big news. There was some standees that were being shown, a lot of drama in the fandom, a lot of silly stuff I saw people talking about that honestly I don't even want to address because it's kind of dumb. Um, but you know, that's what happens. So we'll talk sponsors. We'll talk about some new stuff that's going on, some stuff in the PO box, and take even a question that we got from one of the fans. We got a birthday question that we're going to address too, and everything. So again, sponsors, if you have been at TFcon this weekend, if you're at TFcon this weekend, and if you're listening to my voice right now from your hotel room or hanging out in the bar, um, close the phone and go have a good time with people. Don't listen to this dumb face. Go have a good time. And then you could come see me later. But if you are at TFCon this weekend, be sure to swing by Symbiote Studios booth. A lot of people have been swinging by Symbiote Studios booth, and Symbiote Studios has been sending me images of people that have been like going, "Hey, I'm a fan of the Proto-Man's podcast, and I really like your stuff and everything." So people have been picking up stuff. I noticed a lot of people were buying the Grimlock plush. That seems to be the most popular thing the T-shirts and the Grimlock plush. But you could also pick up the Catnip Bravo. I'm pretty sure everyone saw this guy handing out some free pins this weekend. So again, go check them out. Symbiote Studios booth. Go pick up a t-shirt. Go pick up a plush. Go pick up some pins. They're the best booth that weekend. They're the coolest booth. They got some lights. They got everything. It's the most snazziest booth. I wish I was there. I am promising you I'm going to be there next time. Just getting out of the big V world and then everything catching up and all the business stuff that was going on. It was nuts. Cringe McCringle got a wheeljack. Awesome stuff. And go grab wheeljack. There we go. We got wheeljack there, looking good. Look at the detail on the back. That old Lancia color scheme. And it's funny because I don't want to throw shade, but I saw other people selling their plushes at the show, and some of them were asking like $50, $60, and they were seeing it. Now, granted, again, I don't want to throw shade. They're handmade, so they're not manufactured, so they don't have the numbers and everything like that. But I mean, guys, come on. Look at the size of this thing. I got a big head. I'm a big 6-foot mofo. And, these are awesome. So again, check them out. Symbiote Studios, awesome stuff. They got the new repaints. The new versions are out because the Grimlocks that you're seeing are the version 2s, which are the better versions. Because version 1 sold out like crazy, along with the Optimus, the Bumblebee, and the Soundwave, and all the others. Check them out. We got a super chat. Mark Morales, $5 super chat. How you doing, Mark? What's up? Hey, Proto, I think the new War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, is going to retread all the same characters of the 2004 line. If that's the case, I'm going to need a new shelf. Brother, me and you both. I am so excited about these. I made that little section because I love that game. And now I'm going, man, I got to replace my Optimus, my Joe Kide Optimus, as I'll call it now, with the new Evan Brooks Optimus. I gotta replace. Well, I might not replace the Bumblebee. I'll see how the Bumblebee scales to the Optimus, and then I'll make that decision. Because I really like that old Bumblebee. Aaron, who worked on this Bumblebee? Was that Eric Siebenauer? Or who worked on this one? I couldn't find any info on it. I'm sure you would know because he would work on the Bumblebee and the probably the potential Cliffjumper repaint that came afterwards. But yeah, good stuff, Mark. Me and you both. We're both going to be obsessed with this. Obsessed. But yeah, check out Symbiote Studios booth. You can't miss them. They're the biggest booth in the show. They got the big mascots and everything. And go to Joseph and the crew and just go. Proto Man sent me, and you suck. No, just oh my god, it's gonna be good stuff. I wonder if even Joseph's in the chat right now. Who knows? He's probably chilling. Everyone's just enjoying this weekend. And again, get their other stuff too. They have other stuff too. They got the Power Ranger pins, the Magic the Gathering stuff, the My Little Pony, the G.I. Joe, all the good stuff there. SymbioteStudios.com, or if you're there that weekend, go check it out, yo. Go check it out. And of course, Andaseats. Andaseats are sponsors. that give us the spinal support we need. That's probably the best way to put it. When you're a big guy like me, you need to have a good chair, and Andaseats is your gaming chair specialist for the Transformer brand. Use promo code PROTOMAN to get your discount on top of all the other discounts. Promo code PROTOMAN, you get 15% off your first purchase of Optimus, Megatron, or Bumblebee. They'll be making more seats in the future for 2023. We will keep you posted on that. Not just Transformers, but other brands that they're going to be licensing through Hasbro. So check them out. Awesome stuff. Magnetic clasps, all kinds of cool things, Andaseats. And of course, let's talk about Mr. who's in the chat today, Aaron Archer. We have a new episode of the Toy Armada with me and Aaron, and it is the Toy Armada. We're talking about the Super Base original 2002 Armada Optimus Prime. 20 years, 21 years ago, actually, 20 years if you're Japanese. 21 years ago, this sucker came out and revolutionized the Transformer world. And in a lot of ways, kind of marched the brand forward out of obscurity in a little bit after the Rough Beast Machines patch and everything. And we do a beautiful, it's an hour-long segment. Tons of photos, tons of sketches, tons of behind-the-scenes stuff, animation stuff, everything, and rare footage. How often does you get to see footage of this toy in action transforming on its own? A lot of cool stuff going on here. We talk about the history, we talk about how it was created, all the nitty-gritty, we talk about all the repaints, all the variants, where this mold was used later on. Really interesting chat. A lot of people already have caught it and love it. Really good stuff. Check it out. The Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Throw that in your search algorithm on YouTube and find it. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. Be sure to like everything you see on that channel. We have tons of segments on there. Aaron does lives on the Fridays. Aaron did a live yesterday talking about Hot Shot. You can go check him out and also support him and say, hey, I love what you do. You made my childhood, bro. And that makes you feel old. It's okay. I'm old too. I was in college when Armada was out, so you could only imagine how old I am now. Yeah, there's that hairline. Anyways, and of course, most importantly, aside from the Toy Armada and Aaron Archer, if you want to own a piece of Transformer history, own Aaron Archer's art book, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, Black and White Edition. You can pick that up on archermonster.com/shop. Whole bunch of original art of your favorite bots from that Unicron trilogy and beyond, as well as a few others that you might not be expecting. For $20, you get the black and white edition. For an extra $15, Aaron will draw whatever you want inside. You want Tidal Wave, you want, I don't know, Cybertron Scattershot, you want like the really obscure Excellion repaint from Galaxy Force. Like he'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it. You want a picture of Proto Man peeing on your front lawn? Maybe he won't do that. Maybe not. Yeah, I probably don't suggest that. But anyways, the point is, get it. It's awesome stuff. $20. What more could you ask for? Good stuff there. archermonster.com/shop, or check out the rest of archermonster.com. You can check out all of Aaron's other creations throughout the years. The man behind the Unicron trilogy and a majority of your childhood back in the day. And last thing we're going to talk about before we get into giveaways and before we get into the other Patreon question, there's another kind of exclusive at the show. It was sent to me this weekend. Here, I'll just pull up first the slide here. So this individual by the name of Edgar Mayoral, Edgar Mayoral, he's walking around the deal room right now. He'll have a sign on his back. Ask me about the HasLab Star Saber upgrade metal swords. So Edgar sent me one of these in advance. So the original Star Saber sword was like so. And you're not going to please a woman with a sword that small, let me tell you. You're not. You know, you got to be fair to her. And so this is the new one. It's metal. I don't even know where the camera. It's made out of metal. It is awesome. Oh, there goes the old one. That's what happens when you don't use any good stuff. And it plugs right in. Look at that. Huge. It's huge. Put it in your overpriced HasLab item, and it's huge. Again, look at the difference. This was the old one. Look at that. That's a butter knife in comparison. That's a pocket knife. So he's walking around the dealer room right now. He has a whole bunch of them handmade. I believe he said he has 50 left. He made a bunch of them. They're $30 each, but keep in mind these are metal. You can, and it's sharp at the end too. I just want to show you guys something. So you could, if you ever want to stab somebody, Protoman does not condone nor encourage the stabbing of people. Um, if you could literally hurt somebody with that. It's sharp. So it's a metal sword, really cool, nice little upgrade to your. Oh, you hear that? Jeez, that thing is sharp as hell. That would have been good. Stab right through me. It has the little pegs there. It goes in, fits in perfect. Awesome stuff. So let me just put that back and pop that out. So if you see him around the dealer room, anyone that's there that weekend, go bug him. He's got a whole bunch of them. It's a TFcon exclusive, but I'm pretty sure he could probably ship it out to you too. So you said it, Van, not me. You said it, not me. Although I probably would have said it too. You're just reading my mind. But yeah, awesome stuff. Really cool. Again, like let me just show it side by side. Look at the difference here. Okay. So if you have a Star Saber, Victory Saber, whatever you want to call him, he looks really, really good with this in there. So that is that. So let's get into the giveaways, and then we will do the Patreon question that we have. We have a Patreon question, a birthday shout out, and then we'll do some super chats for the rest of the evening. The rest of the evening. So we're doing a giveaway. It's TFCon weekend. Because I couldn't be there, I figured for all the other people who are not able to enjoy the awesomeness that is TFCon and hanging out with the fans and hanging out with the guests and just buying toys, figured we'll do a little giveaway today so that way people could walk away with it happy. So again, the giveaway is for my patrons and YouTube members. YouTube members are, of course, the people with the green names with the icons next to it. The Patreon members, well, you guys know who you are. Uh, my mod will take care of that. But all I ask is I'm going to ask a question, and if you're a Patreon member, just put your Patreon name and your answer. If you're a YouTube member, you just got to just give the answer. The green is enough, and then my mod will John will take care of it, and he'll announce two winners. So we have two giveaways today, not just one, but two. We have two giveaways. And the two we are giving away today is we're going to be giving away some small guys, some little sets. So the two winners, the guy who gets first place will get to decide set one, and the guy who gets second place is just stuck whatever. So you have a choice between science and insects or flaming dragons. You got a choice between a brand new Shockwave Legacy and the old school Bombshell from Legends. I believe that was Combiner Wars, that one. That had the brand new paint scheme on it. And giveaway Jaws D. I don't know. He doesn't fit. I could probably fit Jaws D in a Unicron box, maybe. He's a tiny guy. And then the Flaming Dragons is, of course, Hot Rod and Dracodon. So you get a choice of one or the other. So pretty simple question. Pretty simple question. All you have to answer, all you have to answer is what year did the Activision War for Cybertron game came out? And you just got to be a Patreon member or YouTube member, and we'll throw you in the hat. Then I'll wait for John to tabulate that. So I'm just going to wait in the meantime. Going to get some water here. So which one? What year did War for Cybertron come out for PlayStation, Xbox? I think that there was the DS version too. They all came out the same year. What year did they come out? We'll pick two names. First name will get first choice, and then second name will get the other one. Let's see. Already it starts. It already starts. Bum, bum, ba-da. Transformer 2010. Shinji Stato. Rodimus Kumboy. Autobot Shinka Leader Saberton Senshi. Ima no Heiwa Mamo Tamoshi. Mamarunda. I'm just saying Rodimus's lines from the Japanese season 3. Okay, we're gonna give it like another 10 seconds. I'm just gonna give people time. Also gives me an excuse to drink more water. First choice is the prime choice. I don't know. They're both good. You know what? The irony with this is it's my favorite Autobot and my favorite Decepticon. Because Hot Rod's my favorite Autobot and Shockwave easily is my favorite Decepticon. It's not my favorite favorite Transformer baddie of all time. That would probably be Beast Wars Megatron. But if we're talking Decepticons, easily Shockwave. So, and then Dracodon's a cool mold. Very radioactive. Very radioactive. Radioactive. Mm-mm-mm. Alrighty. So we're closing that now. So you're gonna have to give us like 5 minutes. John's gonna put all the names into a hat and he's gonna figure everything out. And then when John's gonna send me a message and we'll have an answer. So first thing we're gonna do, and if you guys have questions, just be sure to where's the wire? If you have any questions, just be sure to ask them again if they weren't super chats. If you're YouTube members, I have too much water I was drinking today. A lot of water. So we got a question that I had from a Patreon member. It was his birthday. We weren't able to ask it last week because it was kind of late. His birthday was March 3rd. So happy birthday to Lord Soundwarp. And he wanted to ask a question. And the question that he asked was, is there like words or vernacular or verbiage that exists within our Transformer community that really is unique to our community that doesn't exist outside of that? And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, because I mean, even from a toy perspective, like, the term GPS, like gold plastic syndrome, I've never heard of it. And I'm part of a lot of other toy communities too. The 90s toy communities, the TMNT toy communities, the video game toy community. And GPS, while it does exist in other toy lines, G.I. Joe has it for sure. I know Marvel Toys back in the 90s had it. If anyone owns the old Maverick figure from Toy Biz back in the day, that had terrible GPS. But I mean, it really is a Transformer community term. So that's a really cool one. I mean, stuff like gestalts, like I've never heard that used anywhere else outside of Transformers. Oh, Devastator, he's a gestalt combiner, the term seekers, like the origin of that is fascinating because the term seekers actually started from a old catalog listing, which is they were never called seeker jets. They were never called that in the show or anything originally, but there was old catalog listings. It would be like, Autobot leader Optimus Prime and the price, and then it would be like, Autobot cars and the price, and the jets were called seekers. And somehow some fan back in the day saw that in documentation and that kind of stuck. And now we use that today all the time. You know, there's a lot, but that's a very interesting one to think about because, it's something where there's so many terms that we use in our fandom that other Transformer fans would understand, but a collector from another toy community. Like all my friends here locally in Montreal, with the exception of Jaws D and me were the Transformer guys. But like my buddy Robbie, he's like the Marvel DC dude. My buddy Larego, he's the GI Joe dude. My buddy Arnaud, who by the way was even in the He-Man documentary on Netflix. Arnaud's one of the biggest He-Man collectors in the world, and he lives here in Montreal. Arnaud, he's part of the He-Man community. So they all like kind of come from their own backgrounds. But if I went up to Arnaud and I was like, I hate it when pretender shells get like, pony cancer, you know? And it's like, and mind you, that's a My Little Pony term, but it's like, he would never have to deal with that kind of stuff. He-Man toys don't suffer from vinyl breakdown. Like let's say the old pretender shells back in the day did, the monster pretenders anyhow. Those suffer from it terribly. Oh, you can't avoid that with that. Even like, shell, there's some great ones. There's shell formers, like there's shell formers in other toy lines, but It's something uniquely, said to us. Chug. I hate that term. Oh God, chug is such a it's classics Henkei universe generations, and then after when generations became War for Cybertron, or before that when it was when generations was um Combiner Wars, Titans Return, Power of the Primes. Chud just becomes like this long word that doesn't exist anymore. Parts Former, that's another good one. Yeah. There's a lot of toy lines that have parts formers. Part formers existed before Transformers existed. All of those Power Ranger combiners, all of those Super Robot combiners, be it Getter Robo or any of those stuff, those are all kind of parts formers in a lot of ways. Yeah, obviously in the cartoon it's supposed to combine perfectly, but when you actually mess with the old, you know, Poppy, Popey, Getter Robo stuff, they were all parts formers back in the day. Chug. Oh God. Oh God, I hate that term. Hate that term. It's such a limiting term because I rather just, generation style, classic style. It's just better like that. But there's so many like, these kind of words, these kind of things that just really apply to our kind of hobby. And it's a very interesting question. It really is. So again, I was happy to answer it because it's a very profound kind of conversation in a lot of ways. I mean, and words that were pretty much invented for Transformers, and terms and everything like that. It's Commander Jamma there, yeah. CWTRPO. It's a mess. It's a mess. Why would you even bother? Why would you even bother? The one also like yeah, Kibble. I was just about to mention that one. Kibble is a very Transformer community term. The concept of kibble, the concept of like, it might look good from the front, but like the back and everything, all the kibble that hangs off to try to make a perfect robot mode, it's like, oh, the kibble on the back here, it's something where, again, a very unique Transformer term that really doesn't exist in any other toy hobbies, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. And again, good question, Lord Soundwarp. And again, happy late birthday. I apologize for not doing it sooner. um, you know, waffles. That's a new one, Princeton. That's a new one. That's a recent problem. I wish I had some waffly Transformers nearby. I don't have any, unfortunately. But yeah. So we'll take some super chats, and I'm just gonna message John right now. Make sure we'll take some super chats, guys, and then we'll just relax the rest of the evening. We got an hour and then some. And yeah, I didn't get much in the mail this week. Didn't really pick up anything. Um, just kind of just kind of took it easy this week. I was so busy. That's why we missed a podcast segment. Had to work on Aaron Archer's segment. Couldn't make it to TFcon. It was such a busy week. I mean, I think in a whole year, I maybe miss one segment a year, which is crazy when you think about it, considering we're a Monday to Friday show. I maybe miss one a year, unless I'm doing a con. Then I pre-record something or something. So, but yeah, so we'll take some super chats and start filling up some questions here. I'm waiting for John. Okay, John's got there. So let's pull it up. Perfect. Thank you, John, once again for everything. John is usually a regular at TFcon also. Helps us with the live streams and all the little modding of stuff and everything when we do these giveaways. So, again, brought to you by Bin Studios, the big giveaway today. Thank you, Bin Studios, for providing this product. So, Science and Insects, or Flaming Dragons. So, the first winner today is Anthony Chico. That is a Patreon member. We have a Patreon winner. Oh, I think the other one's a Patreon person too. Actually, two Patreon winners today, not YouTube members this time. Two Patreon members. We got Anthony Chico. Anthony, are you there? Got to make sure first. Otherwise, we're going to have to pick another name. We always have backup names too, just in case. Anthony Chico, say yo. Do you get it, Anthony? That way I can know which one you want to. I am so thirsty today. I had pizza today. I just absolutely destroyed a stuffed crust pork pizza, and the amount of salt Was crazy. Anthony Chico, there you go. Okay, Anthony, just contact me through Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Confirm your identity. We will get your address and we will have that shipped out to you. And if you hear me breathing on your bathroom window at some point, just ignore that, all right? That's not me. That's totally someone else that looks exactly like me that watches you poop. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, just send me your address and all will be good. All be good. Try to find it. Try to find me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever works for you. If you have the actually you have Patreon, so you could contact me through Patreon. That'd probably be the easiest way then, just so I could get your address and we'll have that off to you. So you want the science and insects. So the winner of the Flaming Dragons, the winner of the Flaming Dragons is Patreon member Trevor Stasic. Trevor Stasic, are you there? Do we have Trevor Stasic? Otherwise, we have to give it away to another person. To another peep. Peep, peep. I think I saw Trevor's name somewhere. I think I saw him somewhere. Yeah, I saw Trevor. Trevor, you got to say yo. Got everyone waiting, contemplating. Meantime, let's see. Good game, Trevor. Did Trevor leave? Did he leave? Really? That'd be hilarious if he left. Oh, there he is. Perfect. All right, Trevor. You're getting Hot Rod and Dracodon in the mail. Again, Trevor, contact me. Be it if you're part of Patreon, then message me through Patreon, send me your address, and we'll have those two guys on your way straight to your box. Alrighty, so you won that. So congratulations, and we'll do more giveaways in the future. Again, part of being part of the Patreon or the YouTube membership is you always get access to these giveaways that we do every so often. I mean, anyone who was around during December, every week in December, we were doing a bunch of giveaways. So we'll probably return to that when we get around the holiday season. We want to give back to the fans and everything. But it's TFcon. A lot of us couldn't be at TFcon, so I figured we'll give something to the fans, as an extra like, hey man, you couldn't be there. How about you have that? So we're gonna take some questions. We'll take some super chats. So again, if you're interested, just hit that super chat button down there. Super chat a question, or if you're a YouTube member, the privilege of being the YouTube members as opposed to Patreon members, which are the green names with the icons, you can ask all the questions you want. Any good questions? Any profound ones? Good stuff there. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I'm gonna have to just put away some stuff here. I took this out of my display just to show you guys, but it's a good figure. It's a good figure. Good stuff. I don't think I saw Aaron's post of who designed it though. Curious who did this one. Is it Eric Siebeneller design? I like little. It's nice. Yeah, yeah. Looking good in the hood. But that was a great game. That was like anyone who existed in that era, you know. It was just great stuff. Lord Soundwarp, there he is. Lord Soundwarp is here. Say Proto, could we potentially see other Transformer universes in comic form resurface like Beast Wars comics we got recently? Well, that's really up to whoever gets the license afterwards. I mean, there's rumors of Boom Studio and a few others getting the comic license. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, guys. Like the problem with comics is comics are in a really tough place right now in terms of sales. And then you combine with the fact that any studio that's going to get Transformers is going to have to pay a licensing fee. So that right away makes it that, if you're DC and you own Batman and you do a Batman book and it doesn't sell as well, it's really just, oh, well, we wasted all that paper energy paying the artist, paying the editor, paying the colorist, paying the letterer, paying the inker, paying the penciler, paying the writer. It really is, those are just the losses. And DC just goes, well, but at least we own Batman. But it's like if you do all of that and you're paying a big license fee to do the Transformer brand or Beast Wars or something, it's tough. And then low comic sales, the big V destroyed the comic industry. Like, absolutely. Here in Montreal, 2 comic stores closed because of the Big V. Shout out to Captain Quebec. They had to change owners because the original owner's like, I'm done. I'm done. And he sold it to another guy, and that guy turned it literally into a pop vinyl store. And I was like, well, not going to Captain Quebec anymore. I'm going to be going elsewhere. So shout out to Mark the Comic Hunter. That's my new stomping ground for comic books. Very good store too, by the way. Free advertisement for you, Mark, but you do some good stuff. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Look, I'd love more TF comics. I love the Transformer books. Some of them have really good, unique ideas. Some of them not so much so. But I mean, there's a lot of really good books. Look, the Beast Wars book that we got with the two Joshes, Bertram and what was the other one? Josh Keaton, something like that. Um, they did a great book. That was a great book. That was really fun. It nixed the new characters and everything. So I would love to see more of it, but it's a tough uphill battle. It really is, because whoever does those books has to pay a licensing fee, and that means those books have to perform even better than what a non-licensed book would do just to make it worth their time. Mr. Bumblebot, how the devs on the next podcast TFcon exclusive? Oh, the development. Well, it's right here. It's going to be off camera, but it's right here. I always look at it every time. It's pretty much ready to go. We're pretty much going to finalize everything in April. The only thing that I really have to work on is the trading card, and then we're done. And then we're done, and then that'll debut. That'll debut at TFcon Toronto, where you can pick it up. And then we're going to have a small assortment put aside for the Patreon people if they're interested, which they get for free. I just ask that they pay the shipping. That's it. I will give you a free exclusive, but just please pay the shipping because I don't want to go poor. Because last time we did this, it was 50 different patrons that got it for free. If I would have to pay shipping, even if it's $10 a person shipping, that's $500. So that's a lot of that's a lot of shipping I would have had to pay for. So that's all I ask. If you are interested in the exclusive when we do debut it and you're a Patreon person, please at least pay for the shipping. That's all I ask. Pretty fair to ask, when you say. Billy B, I hope to see more of you and Aaron showcasing characters and toys. Billy B, yeah, man, there's going to be more. I know that Aaron has been talking with other toy designers that worked at both Kenner and Hasbro. And in all honesty, even me personally, I'd like to see those because he wants to talk with the guys who worked on Beyblade, Metabots. That's some cool stuff. Like, that'd be really cool to get like behind the closed door of like Metabots or Beyblade and how those were developed. The guys who localized Pokemon, because Pokemon, when it debuted in the West back in the 90s, it was Hasbro because it was Tomy owned the Pokemon PVCs, and Hasbro was localizing Tomy's Pokemon PVCs under the Hasbro thing. And they did the 2-packs and the little Pokeballs and everything. And they did the 3-packs with the little Game Boy that had the little marble that shot out. I had all of those. So I still have them, actually. Who am I kidding? Charmander for life, Gengar forever. Uh, but the point is those would be really cool to see too. I would love to see those. I'd love to just be a fly on the wall. Like, they could talk professionally and I could just be the fan. In 1999 when you did that 3-pack, like what was the reasoning behind changing the colors of the characters? Like, I'd love to like see that kind of stuff, even outside of the other Transformer stuff. We got some super chats. We'll get to the super chat in a moment. I just want to make sure we catch everyone here. An amazing game, says Ryan Strange. Link CW says buzzworthy Hound Earth mode update since Jazz Cybertronian mode has a pre-order. We're going to get it at some point. It's stuff that leaked out early. There's Mikey and Louie. What's up, Mikey and Louie? I guess you guys were busy today. We did the giveaway and we gave you guys a shout out. Ryan Strange, what if Hasbro opens their own comic studio? They'd have to have a printing press. That's the first question. It's one of these things where it's like, the Pokemon studio that owns the Pokemon TCG, they own their own printing press. So that makes costs a lot cheaper. Hasbro, I don't know if they own a printing press. All of their paperwork and stuff is done third party. So I don't know. That's a good one. That's a really good question to ask afterwards. Do they have like, something that could keep those costs down? Because then it would be great. They own all those IPs, but is the comic book industry lucrative enough in order to continue? Unfortunately, I don't think so. And I love comic books, but you know, it's one of these things where it's like I do not know. Ashnode says I'm excited for it. Lord Soundwarp for sure, always up for an exclusive. Awesome. And the super chat by Ibrahim for $2. Proto, do you think BotBots will go past Series 6? I sure hope so, because they showed off a lot of cool BotBots for Series 6, and I haven't seen those yet in public. BotBots in Canada is like, we got Series 1, like heavily Series 1 was available everywhere. Series 2, a little bit. Series 3, only Market 6. Grocery stores, a dépanneur, for anyone knows Quebec terms, that's pretty much a bodega. Like you got them in weird places, like Series 3, and then that was it. 4, 5, nothing. The new stuff that came out, nothing. None of that is in retail. Like no Toys R Us, no. Walmart, no. Like Winners and Marshalls and all that other stuff, no. Like nothing. No BotBots. Like talk about like Hasbro really dropped the ball when it came to the timing of having those two brands have a retail presence. Hasbro's job is to sell toys, and I don't care what anyone says. The show, as much as we love them, is the commercial for it. That's what it is. It is the advertise the product. Much like how back in the day with wrestling, the TV shows of wrestling was to advertise the live events. You watch the show and then you get excited and then you go to the live events and you buy the merchandise. And it's the same thing. So it's something that like, man, oh man, like they messed up BotBots. And I love BotBots. I love them. It's a fun little show. I love the designs because they're so unique. Hundreds of new IPs, hundreds of new characters, hundreds of new transformations that have never been done before. Sriracha sauce, soy sauce, a sus, like a baby sus. Like I have a huge display of them. Like I bought little custom displays because they're so tiny. I bought them from a little Chinese dollar store called Miniso. Actually, it's Japanese dollar store, Miniso. And I bought a whole bunch of them to have all my BotBots on display. I love BotBots, but man, did they drop the ball when it came to marketing it on a wider scale using media. You put all that time and energy into making a show, hiring voice actors, writers, making a Netflix exclusive, and all that, only for it to just not have that synergy. I would have, if they would have known, if they had a release date and they would have known, I would have planned way in advance. Just re-release Wave 1 again. Just put Wave 1 out again. That's all you have to do. Burgertron and, Spud Muffin and all of those. Put out Wave 1 again. UK didn't even see BotBots. Terrible. Jeez. How could you do that? Anyways, I've always had a gripe with that. And I love BotBots. I love it. Man, if I had the steering wheel on that, I would have done that line completely different. Like I still would have done everything, but I'm saying in terms of like the planning, the engineering, the face of the brand, I would have done it completely differently. It's shame because I feel like it's reaching this point now where it's just going to be a piece of transport. It's kind of like I look at BotBots in 2 years from now being like bot shots, where it's or like Creo, where it's going to be one of these things where people were excited, they collect it, and then you're going to look at it 2, 3 years later and go, "Oh yeah, that was a thing. Oh yeah." Like literally, guys, ready for it? Uh, oh yeah, Creo, that was a thing. Oh, you could barely see it. Oh yeah, bot shots. That was a thing. You get to see the craziness of the collection. Ah! Now I just screwed up the camera. But it's something where I hope it doesn't get canceled. I want to get my poop transformer before it gets canceled. They already canceled the Dukes, which was supposed to be that repaint of the pretzel into a poop transformer, and now we're going to lose the other one. Terrible, terrible. BotBots. Mikey and Louie, congratulations for the giveaways. Our bad missing everything. Hey, Mikey and Louie, look, it's Saturday. You got to enjoy your Saturdays. That's what I do. I went out, got myself some pizza. I'm going to be having, well, I'll save that for later because people always like to ask that question afterwards. Then Mikey and Louie says, we still need to get a hold of the Autobot symbol transforming BotBot. Yeah, where's that one? Like, I want to get all of those. Those are so cool. The Dungeons and Dragons book, the controller, the out of control controller, the one that transforms into a gun that has Kremzeek's face on it, the cat lady. Come on. Billy B, what is up with Hasbro sales? I was seeing that they tanked. It wasn't Hasbro sales that tanked, it was their stocks that tanked. So, anyone who was following my Twitter, I have Hasbro stock. I bought Hasbro stock back in 2012 when it was $41 a share. Even factor in inflation, it comes to about $47 a share about today. But I bought it at 41 a share back in the day. I bought a huge chunk of them, and that was it. And then I sat on them. Never bought any since because it actually kept trending upward. So I was like, why would you buy when it's trending upward, especially when you just invested? So, and I did it for fun. I was just like, you know what? I have some spare cash. It's $41. I'm going to buy a few shares, and I sat on it. And I have a program called Robinhood that lets me know updates. Oh, hey, here's what's happening with your shares. It's more just to make you scared to sell or buy, but I just have it that it just lets me know and it keeps me in the know of what's happening with my shares that I own. I'm not a big investor in that. I have knowledge in it, and I've been successful in some areas, but it's not something that I do for profit. It's just more me wanting to own stakes in companies that I enjoy. And man, oh man, last Friday, around 3 p.m. That's when it started. That you'll see my post. It went from 57 to 55 like that. Like just on Friday. And I was like, "Woo, that's a steep one." And then over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it went from 59 to 51. It's almost going to be as high as it was back when I bought in 2013. I don't know what's going on. Something happened on Friday. People have different speculation. I swear I almost shouldn't even have posted it on Twitter because then people started fighting and arguing and calling each other simps and stuff. And I was just like, guys, please, could you take it over there? I don't care. You know, the second they bring politics into it, I don't care. I'm not a politics person. Left or right, you could go have sex with each other over there, you crazy butt kids. I don't care about that. The only politics I believe is in the politics of Proto Man, you know? So, but it was nuts. It was nuts. But I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but when Friday hit, man, it went in the toilet. It really did. It really, really did. And it was nuts. And I don't know what it is here. Let's check right now. Let's check right now what it is. We'll check live right now. I don't know. My phone is over there, but I don't want to mess with it right now. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad. It is so bad. Let's see. We're gonna do this live. Oh Jesus. Oh man. It's at 49. It's at 49. Oh my God, it keeps going down. It just went down 2 points today. What is going on? What is going on, Hasbro? I literally, it's gonna get to a point. It's gonna get to a point where it's gonna go, I'm gonna like, well, I'm probably losing money now at this point, but I don't care. I didn't, but it's crazy. What is going on? What is this fall from grace since Friday? What happened on Friday? What happened? Like it's like it was like this. It was like okay, Friday. The only thing that happened on Friday related to Transformers, because I know you could say Magic the Cat. The only thing was Friday was when Earthspark came out, the second half of the series. So Earthspark debuted. There was some news with Funko Pop, but that isn't related to Hasbro. Funko is Funko. That's a separate company. There was that Funko news with the landfill and everything. Magic the Gathering, there was that landfill thing, but that happened on the Monday, so it would take a why would it take a week for that reaction? I don't know. I don't know. It is nuts. It is nuts. Down 2 points, 3.1%. It's at 49 bucks. What is going on? What is going on? Thank goodness I don't use stocks to make money. I have a 9 to 5 and I invest in the thing that really matters, and it's these bad boys right here. You know? Man, what is going on, Hasbro? What is going on? Now, granted, keep in mind, Hasbro stock, as bad as it is still not as mind you, you can't compare Hasbro to Mattel, but like Mattel has always been in the $16 range, but they've never been that great. I mean, Takara Tomy. Takara Tomy, you could buy Takara Tomy stock with $10. Like it's so cheap, Takara Tomy stock. Jax, I think, is 14 or something. Nintendo, I believe, is 50. So like Hasbro it's still, when you compare it to their contemporaries in the toy world, they're still high up there. But they were in the 70s and 80s at one point. They were like, yo, bro, so what is going on? Is it Chris Cox? Is it the new CEO? Is it something that happened with the shows? I don't know. Everyone has their opinions. None of them I'm going to I'll listen to it. I'll try to rationalize it, but nothing is fact right now. But man, what is going on? 49.21. I'm almost scared to hit that refresh button and watch it go down more. Yeah, Mikey and Louie. I'll tell you this right now. If you're looking to buy Hasbro stock, assuming it doesn't go down anymore, this might be a good time to buy. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to suggest to buy it either because look, when I was taught at the beginning of this conversation, I was saying 51. Now it's 49. I don't know. That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah, maybe it's toy sales. Who knows? Look, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real for a second. Toys are not as strong as they used to be. Plastic figural forms of fictional characters are not selling as they used to be. When a kid today gets the opposable fingers and all of a sudden he has hand-eye coordination, he can either buy a toy or he could ask for an iPhone or an iPad. And I got to see this firsthand. Most of those kids, the second they hit grade school, there's a lot of parents that right away when they hit grade school, the parents go, "Here you go. That way you could contact me now." But here's the problem. Now there's so many kids that go to school and they have a phone. I got some posts here from Instagram. They got a phone and then they're playing games and they're staring at their phone. And, I have two friends that have kids and their 5-year-old child has Facebook. Like they have a Facebook account. Now, I don't know if he manages that account for him, but the point is he has a Facebook account. And at some point he's going to inherit it, which is kind of crazy when you think about that. So it's nuts. It's nuts. I think sales are just really not as great as they used to be. And it's something where, to me, I mean, let's be real. Like I said, just like comic books, it's a different era. It's a different era. And, that different era, unfortunately, um, changes with the times. It's video games slowly are the thing, and that comes through mobile devices. It's just a kid rather have a Nintendo Switch or a brand new mobile device, and they spend more time with those things. And you could take different approaches and routes and everything of that and try to, oh well, we'll make a transformer video game and try to get those kids. Yeah, you could try to do that. You make the video game, they play the video game, and then maybe they want to own the toys, because we see that kind of transference where, oh look, Among Us was really popular. It was this really popular mobile game, and then next thing you know, there's Among Us plush and there's Among Us figures and there's Among Us merchandise, and there's kids that buy that. So you try to then work the other way. Instead of just a cartoon attracts a kid to toys, you attract them with a video game instead. Look at Pokemon, you know, But the reality is that when you look at Pokemon, when you look at Super Mario, their toy, or even Among Us that we just mentioned, or Minecraft, their toy sections are always significantly smaller than that of the big boys of Marvel and Transformers and everything. So it even shows that these big video game properties still don't pull in enough numbers in order to justify the plastic figural treatments afterwards. So it's a tough one. It's tough, and I feel like in the future, and it's me who has a father who's a toy collector from his era in the 50s and the 60s, and seeing how, because he collected die-cast cars, and how, look at the die-cast car community. That it's there's a Hot Wheels section. Don't get me wrong. It still exists. People still buy cars. But I think that die-cast cars survive because of how low cost they are to make in a lot of ways. I mean, Hot Wheels has been pressing that same sculpt of a VW Beetle since like the 70s. They just do repaint after repaint. You think Transformers does repaints? Oh yeah, look at this mold here. Oh, it's got like 5 repaints. Yeah, look up Baja VW Hot Wheels and look at the 27 repaints that exist of that one, you know? Where are we at here? Mikey and Louie with the gold super chat. Might as well hold on, let me open up let me close. I don't want to look at the stocks anymore. It's depressing. I'm staring at my second screen. I'm like, oh my goodness. Mikey and Louie with the gold super chat. Thank you, Proto, as always, for giving the community great insight and knowledge and information. What's your thoughts on the Wheeljack rumor in the Beasties movie? So yeah, they're guys. So I was seeing this going around where people are like, "Oh, Wheeljack's missing from the standee," and Jada Toys, a licensing company, canceled their uh, Wheeljack figure. Oh, is Wheeljack removed from the movie? No, no. I had this conversation. I forget who it was, but I had to really nip it in the butt. And, let me give you an example. Dark of the Moon, right? Laserbeak in the movie Dark of the Moon had a pretty significant scene, wouldn't you say? Right? Laserbeak had a pretty significant scene with what's his name, Deep Wang, and killing him and all of that stuff. You'd say Laserbeak had a pretty good scene in the movie. He wasn't on the standees. He wasn't in the posters. He wasn't in any of that. And you know what wave Laserbeak came out in? Wave 3 of Dark of the Moon. Not wave 1, not wave 2, wave 3. Um, you know, then we could keep going. Let's talk about Revenge of the Fallen. So there was this character, right, called Skids. Skids. Yeah, not very popular with people today. Kind of controversial with certain individuals, but had a big part in the movie. Was quite featured quite predominantly. Wasn't on the poster. Wasn't on the standees. Guess when his figure came out? Wave 3, not wave 1, not wave 2. And then he would have a Human Alliance and reveal the shield. The point is I think people are freaking out. Wheeljack's not taken out of the movie. He's still in the movie. There's a toy out there. Do you think Hasbro is going to spend all that time, studio series, engineering a figure, painting it, final prototype, final test shot, final mock up, hand painted mock up, photos, everything, and then cancel him out of the movie? Really? Come on, guys. I always say look to the past to understand the future. Take any major character that appeared in those movies, look at the marketing, and that'll be that. Come on. It's fine. He's still. I don't know. When I read that, I'm like, who started this rumor? You know. Timmy K. Poindexter with the super chat. Thank you again, though, Mikey and Louie. But like, I think it's a silly rumor that people just made up. I think people are bored. Wait for the movie, guys. Wait for the. I saw Wave 1 today in stores, so that made me happy. And what also made me happy, I took a photo of this. So, because my boy Dusty for weeks, I love Dusty from G.I. Joe. So hold on, let me. So where's the first shot? So this was 2 weeks ago. So Dusty was peg warming like crazy, right? And then I went back 2 weeks later and none of them moved, right? And then I went to my Walmart today and yay, only 3 Dusties left. So someone likes Dusty. I'm not the only one that likes Dusty from G.I. Joe. So, but yeah, they had the new Rise of the Beast Deluxes Studio Series. Those were there, you know. So, I mean, just give it time. Just give it time. It'll show up, yo. It'll show up. Timmy K. Poindexter with the question: Proto, broccoli beef or Batman pizza? Um, are you talking Chinese beef and broccoli with fried noodles? Because 100% Chinese food. Um, or unless you're talking broccoli beef pizza, which I've had broccoli on pizza, but it was a vegetarian pizza, which was actually very good. Vegetarian pizzas are actually very, very good, especially if it has broccoli. And I love broccoli. Love it. Love it. Love it. Um, but I'll go with beef and broccoli for sure. Yo, man, broccoli is like the ultimate vegetable. You get vitamin D, you get vitamin A, you get iron, you get calcium. You know, it's a leafy green. You know, you should always eat, you shouldn't boil it. You should microwave it or steam it. Oh, man, I love broccoli. Love it. I don't understand why people don't like it. It's good stuff. Media Max, with the question. One sec. I've got all these stuff here. I don't want to lose anyone's questions here. So, Media Max. My brother always liked the first War for Cybertron game more. You could pick up an enemy EMP shotgun and you just fly it in your face and blow you up. Or when you do a melee attack really close, you do some major damage there. That always does some good damage. Love that game. The second one I like slightly better just because of the customization element. I find that you could really, that's almost a game in itself in a lot of ways. I really feel. Um, TMNT Daddy, that is David Cabal, I would imagine. David Cabal changed his name. What's up, David? Um, Mr. Bumblebot Wheeljack supposedly is in Wave 2. Well, there you go. He'll show up. Yeah, see, there you go. It is David Cabal. I knew it. I noticed you changed your Twitter name. Uh, by the way, we need a TMNT Party Wagon crossover. Well, the closest we ever got to that was the Splinter one that actually exists. Look up the Mutation line that came out in 1992, 91. Splinter transforming. I have a whole bunch of those. You have Donatello turning into a Porsche. Those are really cool. I have a bunch of those. I love TMNT. And then we had that prototype one that never happened. Dark of the Moon twins. Mikey and Louie, who wants some chicken dinner now because somebody messed with the wrong wang today? Is that a Shadow Warrior reference? The old shooter from 3D Realms? I think that's a Shadow Warrior reference. Mr. Bumblebot, they got taken out and they had everything. Well, it is what it is. TMNT Yo Joe. And then Mikey and Louie says, Dusty looks so dusty. Well, as he should be. As he should be. I like comic book Dusty. Although cartoon Dusty was cool too, but comic book Dusty was awesome. Let's get the food talk going. Yeah, seriously, half an hour left in the stream and people are talking food already. It's always how it is. It's always how it is. Billy B, Snow Job fan from the pilot cartoon with the accent. And then now he's getting a toy also. I saw that one. I try to keep up with the GI Joe news. Try to keep up with it. Mikey and Willie. So what I'm hearing is that a few parents bought Dusty as a gift and then returned it later. No, I hope not. Send him to me. I want to build a Dusty army. I'll have one without his helmet, with his helmet. We'll do a Tiger Force color scheme. I love Dusty. Dusty's my boy. I even got to meet his voice actor. Dusty is voiced by what's his name there, who did not Michael Bell. Oh my god. Is it Michael Bell? I met his voice actor a while back. And I made a special print just for him to sign. I think it was Michael Bell. But I was a comic book Dusty. I was like comic book Dusty. Media Max, Proto Mang, what do you think is of the third party helicopter Sky Waspinator? I saw that. That looks really cool. That looks really, really cool. Was that originally another third party design and then they retooled and gave it the Waspinator head sculpt afterwards, or was it always supposed to be Waspinator? It looks cool, but at the same time, it looks like something that Hasbro could possibly do one day. Hasbro really has to do some pre-Beast Wars stuff. They really got it. They really got it. Was it original third party thing and then they made it Waspinator afterwards? I'm curious. TMNT Dad, aka David Cabal, wants to know, what do you think of the new TMNT? Honest opinion. I'll be honest with you, straight up. I understand what they're going for a younger audience and everything, but I honestly, like, in terms of budget, I was looking at it and going like, if you would have showed this to me and said, "This is the latest TV series," I'd believe you. Because I'll be honest with you, the budget on it looks kinda low. Like 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 CG shows as opposed to CG movies, like, I'll say this, look at Into the Spider-Verse, right? Go watch that, like, just the trailer even, like, what they showed you, and its budget, its shading, its smoothness and everything, unless they're really going for like a low budget style or something, it feels more like a TMNT TV series than it does a TMNT big budget movie. So when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I don't know about the quality of it. It might be entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem like something that would be a movie. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at? Am I the only one that's alone in that? That's what I thought. When I looked at it, I was just kinda like, it doesn't have that big budget look to it. Like, and not to mention we had that well, when was that year that we had the TMNT CG movie, the one with Karai? That one was really good. I really liked that one. I kinda wish they did more of that. What year was that? That was like, what, 2013, 2012? When did that one come out? I really liked that one a lot. They made a lot of good figures too. Um, it's something, that it's just like, I don't know, it feels like it's more lower budget. I don't know. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if they did that and that's the budget they had. That making them younger and everything, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on that. I don't know how I feel about that because if they're making that now, they're really not teenagers anymore. Now they're like grade school mutant ninja turtles. That's what it feels like to me. Was it 2007? And to see someone saying here 2012. I don't know. I just remember I really liked it. I'm not talking the Michael Bay ones. I'm talking the last CG turtle movie. I really liked that one. That was really good. That fight scene with Raphael and Leonardo, like that was like intense. Like it looked like Raph was gonna kill him. Like I really liked that movie a lot. They had two sequels planned, but both were canceled. That's a shame. That's a shame. Giants Bleed, everyone's telling me Puss in Boots is really good. Everyone is telling me that. My friend saw it and he was like, "I know you don't really watch like the Shrek stuff, but you got to see Puss in Boots." I was like, "Okay." I heard it was really good too. So it was 2007. Oh man, I really liked it. No, not the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles. That TV show was good too. I like the Nick Turtles. That was good. I'm talking about the CG movie. They did a CG movie. It had, I believe, who is Sarah Michelle Gellar was April. Don't quote me on this. I'm very bad with actor names. Um, geez, who was? It had Casey Jones in it. It had April O'Neil. It was kind of like a pseudo sequel of the 2K3 series because it had a lot of the similar designs, but it really was the movie universe, the live action movie universe. I liked it. I liked it a lot, but evidently the rest of the world wasn't ready for it yet, so it didn't do well. They didn't continue it, and then they went with the live action stuff. But at the same time, like, I mean, this new one, look, I'm not. I'll be honest with you, straight up, I'm not a fan of that April design. This is just my own personal opinion. I mean, if you want to make April black, that's cool, but make her sexy. You know, that's the way I feel. Call me a sexist asshole or something. I'm all about aesthetic. When you're talking fiction, make my characters cool and muscular and awesome and make my female characters sexy. April O'Neil historically has always been an attractive character. Let's not say sexy. Let's not say bombshell. Attractive. She's always been an attractive character. She's a news anchor. Channel 6 News, they use attractive people on it. What a weird design choice, you know? What a weird design choice. But whatever, that's their choice. The one thing I've always said is when they change a design or something, I don't get angry about it because the reality is it's just a blip in history. It really is. I'm pretty sure at some point someone looked at like the 2K3 Ninja Turtle series and went, "I don't like that April design with the midriff and the purple shirt." Well, it was a blip in history, and then it's something else. And then people probably said, I don't like April O'Neil as a high school student that's in love with Donatello, which was the Nickelodeon series. Well, look, lucky for you, that's the past, and it's a blip in history. I don't like Megan Fox as April O'Neil in the live action series. Well, good for you, because that was a blip in history. And this one, if you don't like this one, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I have my opinions, but who cares? You know, there's an old saying: opinions are like buttholes. They both stink, you know? So it doesn't really make a difference, you know? But if you don't like it, well, good news for you. It's probably going to be short lived. And if you do like it, well, hey, you got something you can look at and then you could worship it forever on Tumblr. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? So, what do you want me to tell you? You know, it is what it is. It is what it is, my beauties. You know? Uh Mr. Bumble, April was black in the OG comics. Incorrect, my friend. I will establish this right now. I could literally go in the other room. So Peter Laird, I understand people say he was married to a biracial woman. Here's how it works. April O'Neil was originally conceived as a white woman in the comic books. By issue number 3, April O'Neil went to a salon and got a perm. At that point, also, Peter Laird started drawing April a little different. If you look at April in issue 1 and 2, she has a very different kind of style than she looked like in issue 3. Now, also keep in mind, there is black characters in issues 1 and 2. Baxter Stockman, standing next to April O'Neil. She doesn't look black. I understand where people are getting at, but I always tell people, they always like to point at the comic books. Look at movie April. Look at movie April. The very first movie April, I forget what the name of the actress was. Permed hair. You literally black and white that screenshot and put it next to Perm April, issue number 3, permed hair April O'Neil. It's there. I understand Peter Lairs and people saying, oh, it was based on my biracial wife and all of that. Okay, so let's say it was based on his biracial wife, and I don't care if April O'Neil is black. That's fine. But you know what Peter Lair's wife was? His biracial wife? She was attractive. She was a pretty woman. So if you're going to make April based off of April, make her attractive, you know? I like my characters to look attractive. I like my cars to be cool and slick, you know, and I like my character. Every character I've ever liked always had a dynamic, cool design that was smart and powerful. You know, the celebration of mediocrity is so weird today in a lot of ways. We should always aim for higher, not always aiming for the middle. You know, normalizing middle is silly. Oh, but I identify with that, and that makes me feel good about myself. So you're identifying with the middle? Come on, don't you want to aim for the sky? Don't you want to achieve more? Don't you want to be more? I've always wondered about that kind of stuff. Why do people always want to aim for the middle? I understand you don't want to try. I don't want to try, Proto Man. I want to be lazy. I want to sit around and just sit around and go, yeah, who I am that's lazy and dumb is now the normal on TV, so I could feel good about myself. Don't you want to be more? Don't you want to go to the effing gym? I literally have these next to my couch, next to my bed. I work out all the time. You know, don't you want to work out? Don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to achieve more? Don't you want to read? Don't you want to educate yourself? Don't you want to learn more? Don't you want to have a dream and create stuff that you enjoy and educate yourself and learn how those things are made so one day you could live your dream? Or you could go on Tumblr and complain about why something isn't as it should be. No, I just feel it's to me, it's whatever it is, it's going to be a blip in history and it won't matter later on. That's all. That's the way I see it. Sorry if I went on a tangent there. I apologize, guys. But it is what it is. T-Formers 2002, the 2007 film had 2 sequels planned and they were canceled, and the third film was going to be Mikey the Last Ronin. See, like, I would have loved to see all of that. And the IDW comics were pretty good too. Proto Man is cooking. Preach it, Proto Man. No, no, don't, guys, don't hero worship. I'm just giving my opinions on this stuff. And in all honesty, it's just, I'm one of those guys that my whole life, it's always been about trying. making an effort, you know? Part of success is doing something, getting off your duff and doing something. And I hate it when people complain about their lack of success in life. And then when I ask them, what do you ever try? Oh, it's this excuse, that excuse, that excuse. And the only way that they could feel success is to pull down the standard of success. And I'm not going to have that. Or, hey, if you want to pull down the standard of success, someone like me is just going to rise above you and look even better. Do you want that? Do you want this guy to be better than you? You don't want that. You don't want this face being better than you. Because if you're going to pull down the standard of success, then, brother, I'm going to fly by you. And you don't want that. You don't want this guy to succeed. There's so many haters out there that don't want me to succeed. Of course not. All right. It is what it is. We got a gold super chat. Beautiful gold super chat from the Twins corner. How you doing, Twins? Delta. And it's Omega? Delta and Omega, I believe was the other one. I remember Delta was one of them. The Twins corner. Are you guys at TFcon LA or are you just chilling? Yo Proto, the Twins coming in again, but needed to say hi. All right. Got to ask, honest opinion. So far, you think the Studio Series gaming editions are going to go? You think the Combaticons might get remade and the three aerial bots? Oh, I'll say right there, Twins, that's a good place to put the trademarks. If we don't have another Bruticus Combaticon that's going to have the onslaughts, the Bruticus, the Blastoffs, the Swindles, the Brawls, and who am I forgetting? The Blackout, not Blackout. Who did I say? Vortex is the last one I'm missing. You know, it's a good place to put those trademarks. That's for sure. That is for sure. Judith Hogg, that's it. Thank you, Fair Lady Z. You know, she's awesome. She's awesome, and now she's back in the game. She at one point she didn't like Ninja Turtles when she first did the movie. She hated it. She was kind of like, "Oh, I didn't realize it'd be that dark a movie." And now she's come around. Now she loves it. Preach it, Proto. Thank you, J.R. Mina. And that's the bottom line because Proto Man said so. I'm more of a Bret Hart guy than a Steve Austin guy. Although I like Steve Austin. He's a good person. J.R. Mina, some say the bravest thing to do is to step out of your comfort zone. Brother, these are the most profound lines that no one wants to listen to today. And it was said by the great Dusty Rhodes. And you know what he said? Hard times make stronger men. And it's true. It is true. You know, you got to, you know, you know what? It's the same thing with this, okay? A muscle does not develop unless you damage it, unless you give it strain. You don't get muscles unless you strain it. You don't get muscles unless you break them, you know? And the workout life is stress, sweat, and pushing yourself beyond. You can't do those 50 squats. You do it the second day. I still can't do it. You do it the third day. I still can't do it. You do it the fourth day. Oh man, I could go another 10. You do it the fifth day. I could do another 10. Before you knew it, you're doing 100 squats, you know? Play some damn good music, you know, Fight to Survive by Stan Bush, Kumite. That's one of my workout songs that I listen to. Spoiler. You know, you could push through a workout. Be better. Be better. People today, they don't want to be better. It sucks. But it is what it is. And if you don't want to be better, I'm going to fly right by you. And if you don't want me to do better than you got to be better. So the haters, you got to do better. JR Mina Proto, I have to ask, and again, difficulty choosing what you have for lunch. What are you going to be having for dinner or night snacks? I bought samosas today, a whole bunch of them. I love samosas. They need to have more protein though in them, but I love samosas. It has peas, has carrots, has potatoes, deep fried, nice little snack. So I haven't had samosas in so long, so I'm going to be having those tonight. I bought pizza today just because I was in the mood for some pizza. I was just really wanted to have it. I have to do, yeah, it's from Bloodsport. Thank you for noticing. That's one of my favorite Van Damme movies, along with Street Fighter. Uh, um, but yeah, it's just, man, Man, like I need to hit the Asian supermarket because I need to pick up a lot of essentials and stuff. I want to make some japchae, which is a Korean dish, which is like carrots and glass noodle, like just so much good stuff. So much good stuff. Where are we at here? Proto Man is the new Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is not unique in that way of thinking. It's a way of thinking of being an adult, you know? Jeez. Better have some broccoli in it. Damn right. Love broccoli. No broccoli in samosas though, unfortunately. Twins Corner. It's Cobra. Sorry. I know it's Delta and Cobra. There we go. So wish you were at TFcon. Are you there? Are you at LA? Ugh, I wish trust me, guys. Trust me. I wish I was there. Having people come to Symbiote Studios booth thinking I was going to be there is heartbreaking. Trust me. Like again, Toronto, 100%. 100% I will be at Toronto. They're short of like an earthquake making Montreal fall into the river, you know, I will be there, 100% I'll be at Montreal. I'll be at Toronto's TFCon in July. And then after that, then it's Florida TFCon Florida in November. That I can't promise that one, but we'll see. It's so far away. I'd like to go, you know. I'm not a big fan of Florida, to be honest. It's extremely hot, but I'll be inside air conditioned. I should be good. If you don't make me go outside, I'll be fine. But yeah, I apologize for going on that rant, guys, but it's just, to me, the the emphasis on aiming for the middle and trying to make uh everything like them is fine, but at the same time you can't hate over it. You can't like, fight over it and make it political. Make April O'Neil black. I don't care. But my own personal opinion, and my opinion doesn't matter, at least make her attractive then. There's so many beautiful black women. Why did you have to go for this kind of frumpy look? I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? There's so many beautiful black women in the world. I went to an all black high school, you know? So there's so many beautiful black women. Why'd we go with that design? You know? I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I didn't think the April design for the TMNT what do you call it? The Nick series. I didn't like that one either, in all honesty. I thought she had like a pumpkin head on it or something. And that was a white design. I didn't like that one either. But I like the Raphael, and the slash design was cool, so it kind of made it up, you know. Again, I can't judge a movie until I see it. So in the end, I'm basing it off of a trailer that made it look like a low budget CG movie. So, hey Proto, went you working on some secret Transformer idea? What came of that? I can't talk about it. There's 2-year lead time on that kind of stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. There's stuff going on. There's stuff going on. There's little side projects through licensors that I've been working on. That's all I'm gonna say. But that'll come later. There's usually a lead time of a year to 2 years. And I can't talk about it. I apologize, but that's NDA, my friend. Can't. Um, when are we getting some new symbiote reveals? Hopefully next week after the TFCon show, we are going to have licenses that'll be uh, confirmed on that one, and you'll be able to see those because there's some good stuff. People will be excited about it. I Alice Devil says I like the 03 TMNT series. I like that one a lot too because it was very, at least initially, it was very faithful to the Mirage comics. There was a lot of similarities there, making April a antique store owner as opposed to a news reporter. Just it was a good amalgam of different ideas, modernization. It's short of killing Shredder off and having him stabbed through the chest at the end of episode 1 in a lot of ways. Um, I'm a huge TMNT fan. It's something that uh, I understand that it's a brand that changes throughout time. So changing up April, fine. I'll give my opinion, but I won't get mad about it because it'll be a blip, and then there'll be another TMNT remake, and then people could get mad about that one. So it's the same thing. If I don't like Earthspark, or if I like it, it doesn't make a difference because the way that things are every 3 years, they reboot it all over again. Nothing is ever forever anymore. So you could enjoy that small piece of history when it was like that, in that aesthetic style, in that writing style, and that change. You know, is Legacy Point Blank worth getting? Did I miss any other questions? Just want to make sure. Okay, is Legacy Point Blank worth getting? Not with that paint scheme. I think they're going to do a repaint of it later on, unless you really like that color scheme, that head sculpt. But I think they're going to repaint it and do a Headmasters anime accurate color scheme at some point in the future. Who else has the TMNT song stuck in their head right now? Which one? The one that's Partners in Crime. TURTLE power. TURTLE power. On the half shell, in the heroes four. In this day and age, who could ask for more? When crime is high and Muggins mysterious, all detectives are so clueless because they can't stand the force of this ruthlessly evil force. And something, I haven't heard that song in years. That was the old outro song. I made a funny. Ah, ha, ha, from the first movie. That movie is flawless. I don't care what anyone says. That first TMNT movie by Golden Harvest is flawless. I love that movie to death. There is not a single thing I would change about it. There's things I would change about the 86 movie of Transformers. There is nothing I would change about the original TMNT live action movie, the first one. TURTLE power. Mikey and Louie, so true. Smash that like button, everyone. Thumb, your thumb is the touch. Thank you. Thank you for the love and support, everybody. I apologize for the semi-negative spat of emotion, but it's just I'm someone that always tries. I'm a determinator. I guess you could use that term. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm a determinator. I'm someone that when I like something, I have a passion about it. I want to learn about it. I want to learn the next levels of it. I'm never satisfied with the bare minimum. And there's too many people that are like that, and that way of thinking is becoming so common now that it's trying to influence culture. and and you know what, in a way some people would tell Proto Man, just sit back and let them aim for the middle and then you'll just rise above, and I will, because to quote Randy Savage, the cream will always rise to the top. But we'll see. We will see. Mr. Bumblebot with the $2 super chat. Transformer cartoons need to go back to Japan. Amen. I think, America was writing it for 4 years at the beginning. Then Japan was writing it for 5 years. Then Canada, well, technically they were American writers, but it was Canadian producers. Canada was doing it for 5 years, which was the Beast era. Then Japan was doing it again for 6 years. And then in 2007, we got it back in America. And I don't know. It started out good, animated. Some of the movie stuff was getting lost a little bit. Prime was good, and then we kind of started to lose our way. I mean, Cyberverse. I liked Cyberverse, but it's time to give the Japanese the steering wheel again. And I'd like to see where give it to them for 2 years. Look, like I said, if you don't like it, it'll be a blip in history. But give it to them for 2 years. I'd like to see what modern Japan, not being told what to do. No one sitting in the boardroom saying you have to do XYZ to make everyone happy. Modern Japan, lay it on me. You guys are already steering the ship when it comes to all of other pop culture. Everyone loves Japanese stuff. People are watching K-dramas. People are watching Japanese stuff. People are watching all this stuff that's inspired by Asian media. Let's see Transformers done again in Japan. I'm curious. Because the last stuff was good. Mikey and Louie, the OG Turtle movie is an all-time favorite. It is. It's beautiful. Media Max, the 1990 movie, Mikey was supposed to take a dark turn. When Raph yells Splinter at the roof, if you look closely, it's actually Mikey. Well, that whole scene actually was based on the comic book version, and that was originally Leonardo that was in the not Leonardo. It's all mixed up because originally it was Raphael, Leonardo, who was the one that was busted up, and Raphael was uh, sitting vigil, and then they mixed it up and everything in the comics, which the comics came first with the return of Shredder that burned down April O'Neil's because the Shredder made his return when he thought he was dead in April's store. It's been so many years. I own the original prints of those and the color prints of those. And by the way, I own the color prints of those, and April was white in those. So just to let you know. Um, where are we at here? And again, I have no problem with April being black, but I'm just saying, facts are facts. Sometimes when people say like, "Oh, stating facts means you're going against another person's opinion and you're trying to be an enemy," that's not how I work. Facts are facts. Did Hot Rod kill Optimus Prime? Maybe, and that's coming from me. I mean, it doesn't look good for him, but in the original script, he didn't. In the original, so it's like, look, facts are facts. Okay. Amen, Japanese anime. Frank Miller wrote that. Oh, did he? That I did not know. I know Frank wrote some of the scripts for the RoboCop stuff. I didn't know he wrote TMNT stuff. Good old Frank. He did my favorite. He did my favorite Wolverine stuff. Any word on the next Transformers reveals will be? We have. I probably should. I'm going to be talking about this in a future segment. We have the Walmart Collector Con that is coming up in April. They're going to do a segment. That's all I'm going to say. Walmart Collector Con, stay tuned. That is coming up in April. That's all I'm going to say. The Twins Corner, $6.99 super chat. Oh, we're done for today soon. Okay, hold on. We'll try to get all these in. No, we didn't go to TFcon, but we wish we did. Jobby the Hong and David K together. That name sounds familiar. David K, I know, obviously. Jobby the Hong. Why does that sound familiar? Who is that? Jobby the Hong. Sounds familiar, that name. David K is one of the greatest voice actors of all time, along with Scott McNeil. So that I do know. I love David K. I had dinner with him once. I had my double David dinner, him and David Wise. I think I've told that story before. I love David Wise. Rest in peace, man. He was a Ninja Turtle writer, too. He was a Ninja Turtle writer. Well, that's it, more or less, I think. Oh, he's a YouTube guy. Okay. I don't really pay too much attention. I apologize for that. I don't really pay much attention to some of the other YouTube content. Oh, he's a toy reviewer. Okay. Well, that outside of MGO, Vangelis, PR, I know I'm forgetting somebody and they're going to be angry at me. I don't really watch them. I buy the toys and play with them. So, here we go. Billy B. Walmart Collector Con starts March 16th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Billy B. So stay tuned for that one. The Walmart Collector Con will be the next big one. So stay tuned for that. And I think we're done. I think we are done. Are we done tonight? So thanks again, everyone who showed up. Thanks, everyone who at some point was at TFcon and tuned in to this instead of hanging out with people. Thanks everyone for the love and support. My patrons, my YouTube members. Thanks everyone who participates in the giveaways. Thanks to Mikey and Louie, Ben Studios for the giveaway item. Might as well just pop it up again. Thank you for the giveaway item here, Mikey and Louie. This is what I did. I did the science and insects versus the flaming dragons. Which one do they want to get? So thank you for that. Thank you to my sponsors, Symbiote Studios, Hasbro, who always hooks us up too with stuff, and of course, Andaseats, Bada Bing. Thank you for everyone. I'm so grateful to have you guys that always come to hang out, chill, talk about Transformers, talk about all of other crazy hobbies. And like I always say at the end, don't listen to the internet. Don't listen. Twitter is not a real thing. Don't forget that. Twitter's not. I might be on Twitter, but Twitter's not a real thing. The real world is a real thing. Your neighbor out there is a real thing. The people that you see at Walmart, the people that you see at your Toys R Us's, if you have one of those, well, then we'll just say Target. You know, those are real people. Those are real living, breathing people. Don't listen to the negativity online, what the news tells you and everything. Enjoy your life. Be happy. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Take care of your smile. And just be happy. You know, the world is not as bad as people think it is. They want you to be mad because it's easy to control a sad and angry person than it is a happy one. I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to go relax, play some Nintendo Switch, eat some good food, and chill. I hope everyone has a good weekend at TFcon who is there. And for people who aren't there, just enjoy yourself. Or if you're still going to be awake for the next couple of hours, go listen to the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer on the other channel, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, and listen to my voice for another hour with Aaron Archer talking about robots in the skies. I'm out of here. Take care of yourself. Love you all, and be good to yourself. I'm out. Take care.